We're joined by Nick Thompson, senior editor at Wired magazine. So, Nick, should we be expecting a lot more deals in the technology space?
Absolutely. They've been picking up, and I think they're just going to keep picking up. These companies have so much money. There's so many. The big companies have tons of money. And there's so many small companies out there that there's going to be a lot of people buying things.
What kind of things are going to be bought in your view?
I think people are, one of the reasons that tech companies buy new companies because they're worried that they're going to fall behind, right? They worry that the next big thing is coming. Something is going to shake it up and they're going to miss it. So I think they're going to be looking a lot at social networking and they're going to be looking a lot at phones. Everybody knows that there are all sorts of things that are going to come on phones. There are going to be new apps. There's going to be advertising on phones. We're going to use phones in ways in the future that we haven't used them in the past. So let's get a hold of that. Social networking. Somebody's going to figure out how to make money off Twitter and Facebook and all these things.
But it is going to be profitable, in your view?
Well,
outlook, longer term.
Longer term, these social networking sites, you know, Facebook itself, it may go under in 3 years, right? But social networking is a phenomenon that's with us and that's huge and that is going to be one of the main ways we organize the internet in the future. People will make money on it. Facebook may not make money on Facebook. Other companies like Zynga are starting to make money on Facebook. So companies are looking, big companies are looking, saying, okay, we need a piece of this. We need a piece of that.
Well, Nick, is there any way to actually make money without ads? I mean, that's, you know, that's the sort of the new paradigm, right?
Well, Zynga, this is the company that's making the most money on Facebook. The way they make money on Facebook is by taking a cut of transactions. So they have games, and you buy, you know, a virtual sword or something for your game, and you pay actual money for it, and they take a cut of it. So ads on social networking sites, very complicated proposition, as you've discussed 100 times. But there are all sorts of other ways. When people are using something in an engaged way, there is a way to make a profit. It just takes a clever person to figure it out. So a lot of the acquisitions are going to be the big companies trying to find that clever person with the small company.
I mean, it goes back to supply and demand. Find something that everybody wants, and you can charge for it, right, and make a bunch of money on it.
Absolutely.
And that's content. I mean, you got to have the original content, right?
You've got to have the content, and then you've got to have the idea for the transaction. You know, there are creative ways that transactions happen, and you can take a piece out of those transactions.
So who's going to be doing the buying? You know, we talked about Google and AdMob this week. I mean, who's going to be doing the buying in your view?
The company that's done the most buying recently is Intuit. You know, they've had that huge deal with Mint. They've had a number of large deals. So you're going to see Google making deals. Cisco has just raised a whole bunch of cash. Cisco likes to buy things. Microsoft is always buying things. Amazon bought Zappos. Amazon has had an amazing year. Their stock has gone whoo. So they've got all this money. They might start buying things. So, you know, there are 5 or 10 or 15 large tech companies that are going to be looking at the market.
Now, is there any risk, you know, you talk about Oracle Java, or I should say Sun Microsystems, ticker Java, not going through. I mean, is there some sort of risk that as this thing converges that there are going to be antitrust issues?
I think so. The tech companies don't. The tech companies believe, you know, we understand technology. Everything changes so fast. There couldn't possibly be an antitrust issue. And besides, tech company executives are generally sort of so arrogant. They really believe that they are doing good. Like, you know, Google.
Doing the good Lord's work.
Don't be evil, right? How could the Justice Department really look at us? So they just, you know, move forward. And the truth is, the Bush Justice Department didn't do anything.
That's a great point. You know, we talked to Ken Oletta. He's got a book out on Google. It's called Google, kind of changing the world as we know it. You know, in the future, though, is Google going to become maybe potentially a big target in terms of antitrust concerns, because as they kind of spread out here?
I think so. But the Google executives don't, right? They believe that they are not evil. They couldn't be evil. The company is structured in such a way they could never do evil. So they think they're totally fine. All
right, so we got a few seconds left here. So investors are listening and they're saying, okay, what kind of companies should I be watching? Throw out some names here that you think might be potential targets here.
Targets to buy or targets to
be bought up?
I think you're going to see a lot of companies that are making apps and that are making ways that change. The app market is absolutely huge. This is what we're seeing with AdMob. So people who are using and leveraging the app market, they're all going to be targets. Companies are looking at it very carefully. It's new, it's huge, and it's going to get huger.
All right, got it. Nick, thank you so much. Nick Thompson, senior editor over at Wired magazine.